Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Not RV. On this week's episode, I want to talk to you about installing lithium batteries in your RV. Let's check it out. Remember, if you want to learn more and make less mistakes while RVing, be sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like and a comment down below. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Time and time again, people are always asking, how do I install lithium batteries into my RV? Why do I want to install lithium batteries in my RV? What is the purpose? Blah, 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 blah. All these questions regarding lithium battery. Let me touch base real quick on basically why you want to do something like this, okay? Number one, weight. The weight of a regular lead acid battery by comparison of the weight of an equivalent lithium battery that has the same capacity is astronomically different. I'm going to go and put a chart up here so you can see some numbers of the weight difference alone. Second to weight is usable energy. On a regular lead acid battery, you can only use 20% of the battery. Some people will discharge at 50%, but you're damaging those batteries each time. Versus lithium, you can use 100% of the capacity all the time, every time. Recharge it from 0 to 100. The third big thing is the lifespan. A regular lead acid battery has, 2, 3, 4 years, maybe 5 if you're pushing it. But again, it also depends on the cycle. How many times are you cycling those batteries? Discharging, recharging, discharging, recharging. Versus a lithium battery, you're talking 10, 15, 20 years of life. And again, it depends on capacity. Some lithium batteries are rated for 3,000 cycles, others upwards of 5,000 plus cycles. And even so, at that 5,000 plus cycles, it just loses about 20% of its total capacity. So if you went from a 100 amp hour battery and you've done 5,000 cycles, now you just have an 80 amp hour battery because it goes about 80%. I could keep talking about why you want to change the lithium batteries all day long, but right now I just want to talk to you about installing lithium batteries. The biggest thing you need to consider when you are installing your lithium batteries is, of course, the way they are being charged. If your current RV converter is for lead acid batteries only, it will not charge a lithium battery. So not only do you need lithium batteries, but you also need a new converter to make sure that the lithium batteries get charged properly. The reason that is because lithium has a different charge profile versus a lead acid battery. Now, if you don't know that your converter charges your batteries, let me tell you a little bit about that. When you are plugged into shore power, regular campground full shore power, that converter is taking the energy from the shore power, AC energy, and it's converting it into DC energy, and it is charging your battery bank and maintaining power to all of your DC devices inside the RV, from fans and lights, etc. If you don't get yourself a lithium rated converter to charge those lithium batteries properly, as well as maintain everything else in the RV properly, you will cause damage to the batteries and potentially the entire coach. The installation itself is really quite simple. First, you want to go ahead and disconnect your negative battery terminal from your main negative battery on your RV. If you have two batteries that are in parallel, there's going to be one negative that leads to the coach. Disconnect that first. That's the very first thing you need to do. Once you have that negative disconnected and isolated, you can go ahead and start to undo the rest of your connections in your battery. Every RV is extremely different when it comes to what connections are already right there. Some, it's just a simple positive and a negative, and that goes to a bus bar system. Others, the bus bar system is basically right there at the batteries, and you got 12 different freaking connections at your batteries. If that's the case and you don't want to go crazy doing a bus bar system, maybe take a picture first so you know what all went to positive, what all went to negative, so you're not messing anything up. I will personally always recommend doing a bus bar system because you can then take all of your extra components to a single bus bar, and then that bus bar goes to your battery, and it just is a lot cleaner and easier and even distribution of power. If you've already removed all of your cables from your old lead acid battery system or AGM battery system, whatever the case is, and you can go ahead and put in your new lithium batteries, you just put them in there, make sure they're nice and secure. Again, every RV is different, but you want to make sure that they are secured and not going to go anywhere. A loose battery in, say, a battery box can cause a slew of problems and potentially an electrical fire, which is the last thing you want. If you go ahead and properly secure your battery bank and make sure they're not shifting around, that's going to really help things move along down the road nice and smooth. So you got your new lithium batteries in place, they're secure, you're ready to make your connections. Start with all your positive stuff first, okay? And again, if you only got one positive cable, awesome. Connect your one positive cable. Then your negative goes last. Now, if you're just swapping one battery for one battery, or say two batteries for two batteries, this is a pretty simple process. Basically what I just talked about, that's really it. Just disconnecting your cables, starting with the negative first, taking the old batteries out, putting new batteries in, reconnecting your cables, starting with the positive, ending with the negative, and then you're good to go. Now again, you got to make sure that your converter is a lithium battery converter capable. As you can see, the lithium charge profile is way different than that of an AGM or that of a lead acid. And because of that, you need to have the proper converter that is properly charging those batteries and maintaining those batteries correctly. This really shouldn't be a very scary process or a difficult process for most people. It's really relatively quite simple for the basic stuff. Now let's get to a little bit of a bonus. When most people talk about lithium, they are also talking about solar. Solar is just a method of recharging your battery bank. The same as shore power, the same as a generator, the same as a DC to DC charger. All you're doing when you're using a lithium battery and trying to use the coach for longer because the lead acid batteries don't last as long, is you're just using a bigger battery bank, okay? And more capacity from that with lighter weight and all that type of stuff. But you have to still keep in mind, the whole point of all this is you need to be able to recharge them properly and efficiently, which is why so many people do go with solar, because solar is just constantly just boom, it's doing its thing during the day, during sunshine, and it is recharging your battery bank. But solar doesn't always work. You have rainy days, you have cloudy days, you have nighttime, and that's where doing a DC to DC charger is an excellent source of recharging your batteries. You can do an onboard generator or just a portable generator to recharge your batteries, or you can use the car generator to recharge your batteries. All these things are great sources to go ahead and just recharge that battery bank so that you can keep staying off grid. Now, what I personally like to do is before we're getting to, quote unquote bedtime, or, going, overnight, I like to make sure my batteries are gonna make it through the night. All that really looks like to me is I look at my battery monitor, I see what percentage I have and my capacity, what am I doing that night, if the air conditioning is running or not. And if I'm going to be running air conditioning overnight and I'm down to 30%, guess what? I'm gonna go ahead and recharge my battery bank. But solar is not going to do anything because it's almost nighttime. So that's when I'll bust out either my car generator, I'll turn on my onboard generator, I'll do the DC to DC charger, or a combination of a couple of those things. I can turn my onboard generator on and it's going to start charging my battery bank, and I'll go turn my truck on and connect up my DC to DC converter and charger and have that pumping an additional 60 amps, and all of a sudden I'm going to recharge my battery bank pretty quick. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you took something away from this. Make sure to drop it down in the comments below. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, make sure to turn on the notification bell. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Why Not RV. Bye.